What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the world according to Eric with the baddest bitch on the block, Eric Devante. And it is time for Bitch, You Better Read. Top 5 entertainment stories that I feel like you need to hear for the week. And I know we haven't spoken to each other in some time now, but that doesn't change the flow of the game. We're still here to talk some shit, kiki, maybe educate each other, but converse nevertheless, okay? So let's get into this with number one. Number one. So apparently Darius McCray, also known as Eddie Winslow from Family Matters, is supposed to be taking on the role of James Brown in a new biopic that's coming out. And these pictures that I'm seeing, what in the Tyler Perry "We Shall Overcome, a Black Woman Will Make It Through" wig is this? This shit look crunchy, okay? It is giving Captain Crunch a run for his fucking money. It is stiff. There is not a bit of oil sheen in it. I know that James Brown is screaming in that coffin. I just would never. But Darius McCray looks crusty. With this stiff shake it out the bag wig, no. I've seen girls at the Slauson Swap Meet give it up better than this. I've seen girls who blew all their tax money on shit that they didn't need, but they still got that one bad wig in the back of the closet, give it up better than this. The wig is geriatric, bitch. Like, she has lived her life. She's done all she could. She done raised her kids and everybody else is in the neighborhood, but she is tired and worn out. This wig does seen a lot of oppression. She was a part of the civil rights movement. The wig sat next to Rosa when she was told to get up out her seat. Lord. The wig was there when Malcolm got shot. The wig was there when Coretta Scott King got her first perm. This wig done seen life. This wig done been around the world. This wig is tired. Give her a break. This wig has asked for so many days off, but y'all won't give her any vacation pay, so she just keeps coming. A real hard-working black woman. This wig is exhausted. I hate to see it. I can't. Wow, this wig is crunchy boots. It's not a Louis Vuitton boot. It's not a Gucci boot. What she is a crunchy boot. Period. Period. So number two, Claudia Jordan is facing a bit of backlash. Claudia Jordan she's a radio personality. She's on Fox Soul currently. She was on part of Real Housewives of Atlanta at the moment. So that Claudia Jordan is currently facing a lot of backlash for, advocating for her friend who was allegedly molested by Mike Tyson. And, Tami what is going on with my mouth? Tami Roman, spoke up saying that maybe this isn't the right time to talk about this situation, and it low-key seemed like she was passively pushing it off because, with all that's going on with the Black Lives Matter movement, anything that holds other black people can be seen as divisive. At least that's the approach that her initial tweet gave off, but then she came back and corrected it. And I will post all of this for you to be able to see. But Claudia Jordan is facing a great amount of backlash. And, to be honest, I don't know why. I have to level it with you black people. There's a lot of contradicting statements going on. We're trying to be, in solidarity with one another. Black Lives Matter. We're in understanding. Rest in peace, George Floyd. Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. Ahmaud Arbery. But at the same time, now you guys are bashing Claudia Jordan for advocating and speaking out for her friend, a black woman who was molested, allegedly, by Mike Tyson as a kid. Saying things like, this isn't the right time to be discussing this, or this isn't your story to tell. Just a bunch of toxic shit. And, while I understand the point that this may not be Claudia Jordan's story to tell, however, from what I got from the story, Claudia Jordan was there when her friend went through the rape kit. She held her hand. So I'm not saying, in its entirety that this is Claudia Jordan's story to tell. I'm actually not even really speaking out on how Claudia wants to address this situation at all. What I'm speaking out on is how you guys are saying that this is not the right time. And I'm noticing this rhetoric a lot in the black community as of late. The all Black Lives Matter movement, where gay and trans are just speaking out to make sure that they're included in the overall fight for black solidarity. You guys are like, oh no, this isn't the time to focus on gay people. That's divisive. Stop trying to make this about you. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure, you know, our gayness and our blackness go hand in hand because we cannot separate the two. It's called intersectionality. So you guys say it's not the right time to handle that, but there are trans and gay people getting killed on the sides. And then you guys say that, oh, this isn't the time to be talking about black women getting raped. But in the same token, you guys will have a hashtag that says support black women. So I don't protect black women. I don't know what the messaging is. How is this not the right time to talk about black women getting raped and harassed if black women are currently being raped and harassed? I understand that the Black Lives Matter movement is what the main focus is at this time. However, that does not negate the other issues that are going on in this world. It's so possible to tackle many issues at once. So if you're for all Black Lives Matter, shouldn't you care about all of this stuff as it happens? And I'm not speaking out on what Tami Roman said. I think her first tweet came off a little tone deaf. But once she cleaned it up, I understood what she was saying. She was basically completely get it, Tami. Not taking anything away from that. But just to the audience, to everyone that's like bashing Claudia and saying that this is not the right time to have this conversation, it's always the right time to have this conversation as long as these issues are relevant. If there's a trans person being murdered, then this is the right time to talk about black trans people and their seemingly less valued lives. This is the right time to talk about that. If there are black women being molested somewhere, this is the right time to talk about black women being molested. Like, if there are black boys being abused and harassed and killed by the police, then this is the right time to talk about it. Like, I don't understand how you guys like to sweep things under the rug. It's like this cycle of trauma that we're all condoning without knowing that we're condoning it. Like, no. Destiny's Child voice featuring Wyclef Jean. Like, you guys, I was looking at those comments and I was disgusted. I don't think we need to be coming at Claudia Jordan's neck. Did Claudia need to bring this story up? I mean, I know Mike Tyson's biopic is coming out. I guess it's relevant for the time that we're in. That's up to her to decide. But it's not for y'all to get ugly and then jump on her back. It's just not that. It's not that. Like, you guys talk about what times are appropriate for what because we're trying not to be divisive. But the way that y'all treat certain people is divisive within itself. Protect black women. And then y'all bash Claudia Jordan. You bash Lisa Ray, Vivica A. Fox. Like, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care about protecting no black women. Y'all care about what is convenient for y'all at the moment. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't even have any more words to get to this. Number 3. So, number 3, the great niece of the spokesperson who was the face of Aunt Jemima products is worried that in removing her face off of packaging that her legacy will be erased. And I'm not going to sum this up because it's a mouthful. I'm just going to put the clip here and then we'll pick back up. Cool? Cool.
Vera Harris is the family historian for the Richard family of Hawkins and could hardly believe a big part of their family legacy, the Aunt Jemima brand, was about to be erased from supermarket shelves.
A lot of people want it removed. We want the world to know that our cousin Lillian Richard was one of the Aunt Jemimas, and she made an honest living. We would ask that you would reconsider just wiping all of that away. I am a descendant, a second cousin of Lillian Richard. There wasn't a lot of jobs for especially black women back in that time.
So, what I take from this is that she is concerned about them losing royalties and not getting a check. And I don't know how often they're getting this check, but it sounds like they're worried about losing a check. Now, this is the thing. Like, did I grow attached to the Aunt Jemima products? Yes, because it was cool having that black figure on the box. Like, she's very relatable, very, like, you know, matronly, and she reminds me of my grandmother. But the depiction of that woman is like that of a minstrel show back in the day, like where white people would, you know, put blackface on and make fun of black people. Like, the depiction of Aunt Jemima, at least to me, comes off as the Mamie character, where it's like she's the caretaker and, you know, she's just good for like domestic duties around the house. And I think right now with all that's going on and the cultural sensitivity of the world, I personally haven't figured out my thoughts on the whole Aunt Jemima rebranding, because at this point it's like, well, what does that do? Like, what we're asking for is like legislation, you know, reform, defunding the police. Like, those are the things we're asking for. We're not asking for y'all to take Aunt Jemima off the box. Like, I don't think nobody is thinking about Aunt Jemima at this point, or Mrs. Butterworth and her curvy ass. Like, it's just not what we're thinking about right now. So I haven't thought too much about that. But, you know, to see her on the news pleading, saying that it's gonna get the legacy of her great aunt erased and all this stuff, is like, girl, who cares? Like, who cares? And I'm not trying to take away nobody's money. I'm not trying to mess up nobody's bag. But, like, if you don't want her legacy to be erased, then keep it alive amongst your family. Like, none of us was researching. I wasn't researching Aunt Jemima. Like, I just took it as this is a black woman. And then once I went to school and found out, you know, what the face was really representative of, I was like, okay, some more toxic white shit. Like, but no, girl, don't get on the news doing that. Like, there are ways to keep this legacy alive if you really care to keep it alive. You can keep it alive amongst your family if you want to, you know, petition to have it, I don't know, documented in a museum, shoot your shot. Right now, I feel like black people got the one up. We can kind of get anything we want at this moment. So if you want that, go for it. But don't get on there talking about you're afraid her legacy is going to be lost. You're afraid your check's going to be lost. That's what's going on here. That's my opinion. And that's why this is the world according to Eric. Like, this is not factual. This is what I interpret it as. And this is why I call the segment Bitch You Better Read. So y'all can go read and formulate an opinion for yourself. But girl, I ain't trying to hear that. Go on. Now I want some pancakes. I'm gonna go get some pancakes. Number 4.
So my dad went on a podcast and told the world about my virginity. I'm still pretty upset with him about it. He had no right to put my business out there. And honestly, it's our last day in Mexico, and I can't wait to get away from everything and get back to school.
Hi, beautiful.
Mommy.
Listen,
What?
how are you exactly?
I don't know, I'm a little
It was a
embarrassed.
shock.
I'm just trying to hide from
But
the world.
you don't have anything to be embarrassed. You can keep your head up. I always check on Deyjah. That's my baby. I didn't want her to go into a shell or be withdrawn or whatever. Young ladies need to know that someone cares and someone is checking on them. I know how you are. You're very private.
I mean, I wish he wouldn't have said it for everyone to hear.
Yeah. I had a talk with him, and he seems to...
Number 4. This whole Deyjah Harris situation resurfacing as T.I. and Tiny's show comes back for another season. I really feel bad. I don't watch T.I. and Tiny's show, but you know, it's hard to avoid these clips online. And I feel so bad for Deyjah. Like, this poor girl, I don't know much about her, but she seems a little introverted, and like she doesn't like to have too much of her life on display. And here we are at this moment with so much of her life on display. Like, we're talking about her, you know, being a virgin or not, and then like T.I. going with her to have her hymen examined. Like, I just... People. This is the point of this, okay? Cannot tell T.I. how to raise his children. Cannot. Don't have no kids. Don't know. Would I do it? No. Can't tell Deyjah how to feel, even though I think she should be as sad as she thinks that she is. Can't tell Tiny how to talk and not talk. This is the thing. I'm asking for equality across the board, okay? When it comes to cancel culture, we are so quick to cancel people for shit that I don't think is that important, but certain people get a pass on all types of nonsense. I.e. T.I. for this situation. And I'm not saying T.I. needs to be canceled. I'm not really with cancel culture because it's very flaky. But I'm saying when it comes to accountability, what T.I. did was not only misogynistic, it was disgusting. And you know, I don't know what it is. Like, we're always willing to listen to T.I. when it comes to like black advocacy. We're willing to let him be a spokesperson. You know, he has all these platforms. He has a podcast where he's able to just like educate the masses. But then this is the shit that he does in his own home. Like, Like, I don't get it. I truly don't. And like I said earlier, I'm not a parent, so I can't tell anybody how to raise their kids. But just the effects of looking at that little girl, like, she looks hurt. She looks like her trust has been violated. She looks like she's completely uncomfortable. She was saying that some kids are making fun of her, saying cruel things. She's saying that older men are like messaging her, saying God knows what. But like, you see what I'm saying? Like, all of this is extremely toxic, but I feel like T.I. has gotten a pass on it because what? He's a strong black male figure in the community? Is that what it takes? Like, I don't get it. Like, the support that I see from people, or for people like Lil Boosie. Like, Lil Boosie admitted to y'all on Instagram that he basically had an older woman come sexually harass his kid to make sure that he's not gay. Like, but y'all sit here, and Lil Boosie has never had as many followers in his life. Like, y'all have increased his viewership. Y'all have probably started streaming his music more because Lord knows Lil Boosie hasn't released music. Like, y'all support the toxic activities of black men, but then crucify gays, black women in general. Like, it's very unbalanced. It's very unbalanced, and it's ugly. Like, no, that's the biggest thing here. Like, I can't believe what I was reading. Like, no. Number 5. And number 5. The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania agrees to review Bill Cosby's appeal of his 2018 sexual assault case. So, apparently he will get a chance to fight his sexual assault conviction in court, as he spent the last 2 years in prison where he's maintained his innocence. He's currently serving his 3 to 10 year prison sentence, which for Bill Cosby is basically life in prison. Why are we entertaining possibly letting Bill Cosby out of prison for sexual assault cases? For how many women? This goes back to what I'm talking about. Like, there's just the lack of support for women in general, black women especially. Like, for what? For what are we even talking about right now? Like, this man has had so many people come forward, and I'm not saying that all of them are telling the truth, but I'm also not gonna sit here and act like 50 plus women all lied about this situation. Like, what are we even entertaining? Like, how about we get the people that killed Breonna Taylor in prison? Like, how about we take that to the Supreme Court and like really focus our energy there? Let's not worry about getting Bill Cosby out of jail for some shit that probably happened. Remember the hashtags that everyone's putting out on social media? Hashtag support black women, hashtag protect black women. Well, you know, let's actually bring those hashtags to life and do the work. Getting Bill Cosby out of jail for sexually assaulting women, some black women as well, it's not the hashtag. That's not conducive to what we're trying to do here. But hey, but that was all for Bitch. You better read. So feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, and wash your hands. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.